What the heck is this mysterious rabbit character that's been shoved into all these Mario games? Its name is Nabbit, but after seeing the new gameplay from Super Mario Bros. Wonder, I'm here wondering why Nintendo is so fond of this character. Since its debut in 2012, Nabbit has made an appearance in a total of 15 games. So why not add Wario, Waluigi, or even Toadsworth into the game instead? While I don't have an answer to that question, I decided to make a shorter video to uncover all the information that does exist regarding Nabbit. And just to tailor expectations here, there's still a lot of information about this character that's left to be desired. I'm the Mentok, I make fun, informative content. Peep the YouTube partner program hat directly from YouTube, thank you. So consider binge watching me while you explore the universe in Starfield or something. So Nabbit is pretty new in the grand Mario scheme of things, debuting in New Super Mario Bros. U in 2012 for the Wii U. While the name Nabbit is pretty self-explanatory, in Japan he's known as Toten, which is derived from the word tote, meaning to take or steal. He was introduced running around the world map in the game with a stolen item in his sack, before stopping on a particular stage where he can be confronted. If Mario and friends head to the stage with Nabbit, a minigame begins where the player has to chase him down in the level within 100 seconds. It's a pretty simple minigame, and the player can even use fireballs or Koopa shells to slow Nabbit down. Once captured, Toad rewards Mario and friends with a pea acorn in exchange for getting his stuff back. You could say this is a callback to other 2D Mario minigames first seen in Super Mario Bros. 3, where you encounter enemies like Hammer Bros or Boomerang Bros on the overworld map and battle it out for items. But Nabbit here remains mysterious and seems to work independently from Bowser. After you complete the game, you can use pipe cannons on the world map, and one of them will launch you over to the Secret Island, where for the very first time in the series, we see a purple Toad house. How strange. Well, if you head inside, there's a huge board that will give you the rundown on a bunch of stats like coins collected, Goombas stomped, Nabbits caught, but more importantly, if you look around the interior of this house, you see a bunch of stolen goods. Guys, I don't think a Toad lives in this house. So it's heavily implied that this is indeed Nabbit's hideout, with his mask thrown over the top of the board and the ceiling decorated with Nabbit silhouettes. I was gonna say that Nabbit is a harmless thief until I peeped the Yoshi eggs in the back. So you're not just a burglar. You're a kidnapper. Shame on you.
Stop right there, you burgling burglars!
It's not what it looks like. I would never steal children.
Bullshit!
Nabbit would go on to steal his way into the cast as a playable character for the very first time in the expansion game New Super Luigi U. This expansion came out in 2013 as part of the Year of Luigi event that Nintendo was pushing, with Mario being completely removed from the equation to keep focus on Luigi. Nabbit would serve as Mario's replacement as the final playable character. Coming into this video, I did not think I'd be able to get to the bottom of why they made this decision, but thanks to good old Satoru Iwata, I'm proud to say that we know why. In his Iwata Asks segment regarding New Super Luigi U, Iwata interviews Masataka Takemoto, director of the game, and Takashi Tezuka, who served as its producer. Iwata mentions that by switching the main character to Luigi, they probably had to rethink the multiplayer mode a little bit, and goes on to ask why they chose Nabbit. Takemoto responds, "When we decided on Luigi as the main character, I talked with Tezuka-san about how I was absolutely against having Mario make an appearance. The idea came up of using 3 Toads, but when 3 Toads show up, the screen got confusing. So I hounded Tezuka-san about seizing this chance to use a new character." Iwata responds, "So if you hadn't pushed for it, there would have been 3 Toads?" To which Tezuka replies, "Yeah, it might have ended up that way." So if it weren't for Nabbit, we might just have finally had that main red Toad back as a playable character years ago. I'm a little salty about that. Anyway, they decided to take advantage of Nabbit's abilities to slip past enemies and program those mechanics into the game, which intentionally added a level of accessibility for beginners. Nabbit is completely immune to enemies within the game, but can lose lives from other means like bottomless pits, lava, or just running out of time. And that's all the information we got about Nabbit from his debut until they released New Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe for the Nintendo Switch. I'm so glad we're done with these naming conventions and we just got Super Mario Bros. Wonder. It is a wonder that they used these names for so long. This is an upgraded version of the original game, but this time you can play as Nabbit. He's even got his own bio on the website for the game saying, "Enemies never seem to notice this sticky-fingered thief who can sneak past the bad guys to snag items, which he stuffs into his sack. Hey yo."
Oh my.
So at this point, Nabbit was included in these 2D Mario titles to serve as a character for beginners. And the same goes for the upcoming Super Mario Bros. Wonder. with Nabbit and Yoshi actually labeled as the beginner characters. So that's a simple answer as to why you'll continue seeing Nabbit in these types of games. But his appearances would extend to spin-off titles as well, joining as a playable character in his first Mario sports title, Mario Golf World Tour. And that would open the gates to his appearance in other spin-offs like Mario Party, Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games, Smash 4 and Ultimate, and even the Mario and Luigi series. So, who or what exactly is Nabbit? At first glance, it's just a purple rabbit character that wears a bandana around its mouth. But is this thing really a rabbit? Or is it wearing a costume? That one Easter bunny from Animal Crossing still has me looking over my shoulder. But Nabbit's eyes seem to be able to blink. And maybe this is like an elaborate spring-lock suit from Five Nights at Freddy's. But what about this bandana? It looks rather familiar. Yeah, this looks like the bandana that Bowser Jr. is always wearing. So maybe it's him in disguise. Well, there are slight differences to the two bandanas, and on top of that, Bowser Jr. has an alibi. In Mario & Luigi, Bowser's inside story plus Bowser Jr.'s journey, Jr. can recruit Nabbit as an ally that joins his army. His profile within the game describes him as a skilled thief who holds back on his thieving tendencies during battle. He is a mystery to all. I guess eyes are off you for now, Jr. So the information about Nabbit in-game is rather sparse, but I decided to take a look at all of his profiles embedded within these titles for a little bit more detail. So let's start off with his Smash 4 trophy. An underhanded little rascal who steals items from the Toad houses and runs away with them. If you can catch him, Toad might repay you with a nice present. In New Super Luigi U, he even manages to nab a position as a playable character. From burglar to hero in the blink of an eye. Not bad work all things considered. Yeah, so let's ignore the fact that he kidnaps Yoshi eggs. I think the most interesting set of information comes from Mario and Sonic at the Rio 2016 Olympic Games, which seems to confirm that the secret island is in fact his base. This mysterious creature carries a large sack over its shoulder, and also conducts research about Mario from a base on Secret Island. He's surprisingly fast despite the hefty sack, ayo, and hopes to use that speed to full effect in the Olympic Games. Mario and Luigi Paper Jam feature Nabbit as a medium for the brothers to obtain new brothers attacks, special team attacks that they'll use throughout the game. At the beginning of the story, Nabbit is seen stealing from Toads once again, implying that he nabbed items that will eventually be used to give the brothers new abilities. And throughout the game, Mario, Luigi, and Paper Mario will work together to catch Nabbit several times and retrieve the items to upgrade their capabilities in battle. But at the end of the day, it's just another appearance of a fast character that likes to steal things. Lastly, there's been some comparisons of Nabbit to Ravio from The Legend of Zelda: A Link Between Worlds, but I'll have Mr. Iwata shoot this idea down himself.
Some people commented that the character next to Link looks like Nabbit. Unfortunately, he has nothing to do with the Mario series.
You know, it's kind of crazy they took time out of the direct to clarify this. I think that's pretty awesome. Personally, I don't think this character is much more to Nintendo than being a way to make games more accessible to beginners, but I always appreciate how Nintendo manages to balance the difficulty of their games by including these characters. I highly doubt we'll be getting more information about him at this rate. But going into Super Mario Bros. Wonder, I figure many old and new Mario fans would be curious to hear a little more about this mysterious thief, and why he's frequently popped up in these games. Be sure to check out my longer form videos about your favorite characters, and special shout out to Alex for editing this video. Go show him some love, and until next time, be safe. The Prophet has spoken.